Have you ever done something kind for a stranger, never realizing that one small act could change your entire life? That's exactly what happened to Emma, a waitress in a small town cafe who believed kindness was the only wealth she had. But on that rainy morning, when she paid for an old man's coffee, she didn't know she was about to serve a billionaire in disguise. It was one of those mornings when the rain seemed to wash away not just the dust on the roads, but the hope in people's eyes. The cafe smelled of wet earth and roasted coffee beans, a familiar comfort for the regulars. Emma wiped the counter, her sleeves slightly torn, her smile tired but genuine. She had been working double shifts for weeks, trying to pay her mother's medical bills. Her shoes had holes, her hands carried scars from burns and scrapes, but her kindness never dimmed. The bell over the cafe door chimed softly, and an old man stepped in. His coat was faded, his hat dripping with rain. He walked with a slight limp, carrying a weary air that made him look invisible to most people. He sat quietly in the corner, glancing around like he didn't belong. "Good morning, sir," Emma greeted warmly. "Would you like a cup of coffee?" He nodded. "Just one cup. Black, please." She poured it, her hands steady despite her exhaustion. When she brought the cup to him, he smiled faintly, but when he reached into his pocket, his face fell. He pulled out a few coins, barely enough for half the price. "I'm sorry," he said softly. "Seems I don't have enough today." Emma's heart clenched. She had seen too many faces like his, ashamed, defeated, tired of life's battles. Without a second thought, she smiled and said, "Don't worry about it, sir. This one's on the house." He looked at her, surprised. "You can't just give things away. You might get in trouble." She shrugged gently. "I'd rather get in trouble for kindness than turn someone away for a few coins." The old man stared at her for a long moment, then smiled. A smile so small, yet filled with something deep, something knowing. "You're a rare soul," he said quietly. When he finished his coffee, he thanked her again and left. Emma didn't know why, but his eyes stayed in her mind long after he walked out. Later that evening, as the cafe emptied and rain fell again, Emma sat alone, thinking of her life, how kindness never seemed to pay the bills, how good people always seemed to struggle. She didn't know that outside, a black luxury car had stopped by the cafe. Inside sat the same old man, now removing his worn coat and hat, revealing a crisp tailored suit underneath. He wasn't just any old man. His name was Richard Bennett, a reclusive billionaire known for his secret investments in small businesses. And Emma's cafe was about to become his next focus. The next morning, Emma arrived early as usual, expecting another long day of serving coffee and pretending everything was fine. But something was different. There was a sleek black car parked outside, and a sharply dressed man waiting by the door. "Are you Emma?" he asked politely. "Yes," she replied cautiously. "Mr. Bennett would like to speak with you." She frowned. "Mr. Bennett," the man smiled. "You may know him as the gentleman whose coffee you paid for yesterday." Emma froze. Him, the old man. Moments later, Richard himself entered, no longer frail or hidden by ragged clothes. He looked powerful, confident, but still carried the same gentle smile. "Good morning, Emma," he said. "I owe you a thank you, and perhaps much more. I was just doing what anyone should," she stammered. He shook his head. "No, most wouldn't. I've spent years watching how people treat others when they think no one's watching. Yesterday, I found someone rare." He sat down and explained how he often visited places in disguise, testing human kindness before deciding where to invest his fortune. "I came in looking for decency. You gave it freely." Emma blinked, struggling to believe what she was hearing. "You're saying you were testing people?" "In a way, yes," he admitted. The world has enough people chasing money. I was looking for someone who values humanity over profit, and I found her behind a coffee counter. He then offered her something that made her breath catch: a partnership. He wanted to buy the cafe, expand it into a franchise, and make Emma the managing partner. "It's not charity," he said firmly. "It's trust. You've earned it." Emma's eyes filled with tears. For years, she had given kindness without expecting anything back. Now, for the first time, life was giving something back to her. But she didn't answer right away. That night, she went home and thought about her mother, her struggles, her faith in goodness. She realized something profound: true wealth isn't measured by money, but by the courage to stay kind when life gives you every reason not to. The next day, she accepted Richard's offer. Together, they transformed the cafe into a warm, thriving space where everyone, rich or poor, was treated with the same smile Emma had once given a stranger. Years later, when journalists asked Richard why he chose her, he simply said, "Because she paid for a cup of coffee with her heart." And Emma would tell her customers, with a humble smile, "You never know who's sitting at your table, so serve everyone like they matter, because they do." The rain still fell outside the cafe sometimes, but now it didn't feel cold anymore. It felt like a reminder of the day a simple act of kindness changed everything. And that's the truth of life. Sometimes the smallest gesture of love brews the richest reward.